time to ensure a meaningful result. Be patient, and keep watch for any intruders.
I struggle to picture Wishtala as a little girl. Easier to believe she sprang fully formed from one of Master Matoya's cauldrons. Every time I come here, it reminds me of that dark portal above the crystal tower, and the final lash of Azdaja's tail as she plunged into the void. Sisters save me, I will never see Wishtala the same way again. Froth and foam, indeed.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side! Thank you, little one. You did well.
Oh, the poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
I cannot lie.
We're out of time! I must reseal the Void Gate.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the Void!
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of Void Gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Graha's theory was correct, then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
My apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness. It was Elidibus, as I recall, who rescued Una Kalhai's spirit from his final battlefield. But I wonder if there were others whom the emissary saved from oblivion. Silver, the adventurer who traveled with the Warriors of Light. And you say she was another of Elidibus's pawns. I see. So Ciela, or rather Silver, was beguiled by the same dreams of heroism as Una Kalhai. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition? I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way. But first, I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
Seeing the void's terrors firsthand was an experience. But I doubt fear of such creatures is at the root of Britter's hesitation.
Once Nidhana succeeds in replicating the Mach Atomus, this door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more my endeavor than yours.
To be honest, I've no interest in visiting the void myself. Might we discuss this later? There is something I must do first.
Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least had good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Ahem. Shall we proceed with our other preparations, then? As we saw, the warding scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemists who created it. Who do we know who excels at this kind of structural augmentation? An excellent suggestion. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Iron Works can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit their operation in Ralgris Reach and commission their best and brightest.
Shinikri. What brings you to the Iron Works?
We have a commission for you and your president, actually. Assuming he's available?
Master Sid. Certainly, I'll see if he has a moment free. Pleasure as always. I hear you have a job, Russ? Heading into the void to find a lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after Median and that bloody mess. Alright. Let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation? It seems some manner of corrosion has set in around a scratch on its surface, much as the void's corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds. In which case, our best bet may be to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place.
And how might we achieve that?
We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armor. We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high ethereal conductivity, so as not to impede the talisman's primary function.
A suit of armor, as you said.
Nero has compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with the design just to be sure. If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear, I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars.
Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait.
The hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do.
I think we can leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the great work, and see how Nidhina is getting on with the mock Atomus.
Hey, Stola! The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Alzadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial Atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless? Heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan! You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you, and here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzadhan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavne for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
You surprise me, Estanine. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement in helping Verter reach this conclusion.
'Twas for the greater good. The WYRM's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and had travelers believing the palace racked by some unnatural storm.
What of your own answer, then? You seemed disinclined to venture into the void.
When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts. His endless rage my rage. And the soul-chilling grief he nursed for Radodoskar's death. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend and ally. If there is a chance we can spare Verter that pain, then I will follow you.
I'd rather not bother our comrades with aught less than a dire threat to the star. We four should be sufficient for our purpose. Now, on to specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan, as such, is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. 'Twould be more convenient had we some manner of base camp nearer to the gate itself.
One of the palace chambers should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside Mekh-Haduta. And so we will require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? All the chambers are presently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make a room or two ready for habitation. Good. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. As you heard, we will have you settled in Mekh-Haduta in due time.
You are most gracious, Your Excellency.
You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Azdaja. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do.
I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be.
Succeed or fail, I am grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt.
On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nidhana. If you've preparations to make ere we venture into the 13th, now is the time.
All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. You know what this means to me, Shinikri, but my purpose need not consume you as well. We are headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience. For you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know.
Be slow